I have decided to call these lessons for the road. Lessons for the road. Trusting that this, what we'll say today, will make some sense to someone. You're free to discard this if it doesn't suit your theology. By the way, you're talking about the road. Road to where? Road in life. Your journey in life. Number one lesson. There are no direct flights to the promised land. There are no what? No direct flight to the promised land. And I wanted to use the promised land in wider application. Whatever that promised land is. Marriage, financial independence, name it. And if, in case you want to include heaven and the promised land, whatever it is, I'd like to suggest to you, there are no direct flights to the promised land. Think about that. There are no, young men and women, listen to me, there are no direct flights to the promised land. The journey to the promised land, whatever that means to you, is full of connecting flights. Is this resonating with anyone yet? Is this resonating with anybody? And I'm saying this when I call the attention of young men and women is so that you can bide your time and learn what patience means. I will speak from the Bible. Numbers chapter 33. I guess this might be an encouragement to someone who feels, well, I'm not where I thought I should be by now. I thought my life would have been better. I thought I would have secured these and enjoyed it and all this. Maybe this might be an encouragement when I say there are no direct flights to the promised land. Numbers 33. These are the journeys. Mark the word. These are the journeys of the children of Israel. Where are they journeying to? Where were they journeying to? They were journeying to the promised land. That one trip to the promised land was broken down. These are the journeys of the children of Israel who went out of the land of Egypt by their armies under the hand of Moses and Aaron. Now Moses wrote down the starting point of their journeys. At the command of the Lord. Oh, I love this. It was the Lord who asked Moses to detail them, to write it down. For whatever is written in scripture is our instruction and our admonition, we on whom the end of the world is come. Moses, write it down, because a generation will come who will want to get to their promised land by a single flight. These are the journeys. Now Moses wrote down the starting points of their journeys at the command of the Lord. And these are their journeys according to their starting points. They departed from Ramses in the first month on the 15th day of the first month, on the day after the Passover. The children of Israel went out with boldness in the sight of all the Egyptians. For the Egyptians were bearing all their firstborn whom the Lord had killed among them. Also on their gods the Lord had executed judgments. Then the children of Israel moved from Ramses and came at Sukkot, and on and on and on. Ladies and gentlemen, no direct flight from Egypt to the promised land. Whether it's a marriage you admire from afar off, is not by a direct flight. Or a business that is booming somewhere, is not by a direct flight. Or someone who has attained financial independence, it's not by a direct flight. Are you still with me? There are no direct flights to any promised land. Whatever you regard as a promised land, no direct flight.